my Juki friends. Welcome back to my home. My name is Alba, and today I am going to be creating with you a project that I hope you enjoy as much as I enjoy making it. I am going to be making a roll up. So for this one, there's a camping trip coming up, and I wanted to put my essentials and some things that I need to protect. And you know me, I wanted to do it quick and easy. And let me show you what I came up with. So I went to Dollar Tree and picked up dish drying mats. Now these are solid on one side, a print on the other. They're really easily available. Dollar Trees are all over the country. But what I liked about these is they are made of a terry cloth and they do have a foam filling. So these will protect my items that I am putting in this roll-up carrier without any just added stress and trouble. So I think this will be a really straightforward, fun project. So we will be using 2 of the dish drying mats, an 18-inch piece of the tie for when you roll this up. Now I have a knit cord, but this can be grosgrain ribbon. It could actually be a shoelace, some of those fun, cute shoelaces. It can be anything sturdy that you can tie off your roll-up with. I will be needing some pins, a marking tool, a scissor, and a ruler. And let's get started with this roll-up. The reason I really like this is the edges are completely finished on the drying mats. So I don't have to put fabric right sides together, sew, turn it inside out, and do all of that top stitching because the edges are completely finished. Now, one of the dish mats is going to be my outer cover, and one is going to be my inner pockets. So on this one, that's the outer cover, I am going to place the outside of my cover down facing my table. Now, I have put some markings on here. I wanted my pockets to be about a third of the way, or about 6 inches on that. So I did some marking on here. And for my pockets, I want to make sure that my tag is going where my pockets are going to be. I am going to fold this until I find a happy spot, and I'm pretty happy with this. So here will be pocket number 1, and here will be pocket number 2. So I am happy with where I have this placed, and what I want to do is pin. And I am pinning at the third of the way mark where I am going to be stitching. And this is about 6 inches from the edge. So I'm going to get my ruler out, and I am going to put a pin at that 6-inch mark. And I'm checking this one perfect at the 6-inch mark. And I am going to stitch down, and I'm going to mark that. So with my chalk, I'm marking that stitching line. And I think in the center, I'm going to do 2 pockets. So I am going to come in 3 inches. Now you could do these pockets really however you would like them. You may have different types of utensils and you may need a bigger or much smaller pockets, but this is what I came up with for me. And what I'm going to do with the one that is going to be my pockets, the solid side is going to be that inside of the pocket. I want a peekaboo with a little bit of my print. So this is what the inside of my roll-up will eventually look like. I am going to go to my sewing machine with a straight stitch, and I am going to stitch down the lines that I have chosen for my pockets. Now I am using a dark thread so that you can see my stitching lines, and I am on the DX2000. I love this machine. It's packed full of features that I love and just the ability to go through heavy materials. So let me bring this over. I am using the open toe foot so that I can see my stitching, and I am going to move that pin so that I can remove it as I am stitching. And I am going to back tack at the beginning of the end, and I am going to stitch down my pocket lines. And I'm back tacking at the front, just going forward and backwards a couple of times to hold that in place. And I'm coming right to the end. And I'm even locking that stitch. Gotta love those scissor buttons. They come in so handy. And I'm just going to all of my chalk marked lines and repeating and doing the same thing. Now I have my pockets sewn. I'm just trimming up threads and just tidying this up a little bit. Now, here are my two smaller pockets and my larger ones, and I've left the ends open because I am going to stitch that down directly onto that mat that I have set aside for me. Now, you may want to pin this, and you will want to sew, and I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. There is an edging that is finished coming from the mats itself. I am going to sew within that edging to secure all my layers, and I am going to do that around the sides and bottoms of the pockets I've just created. Again, I'm using my straight stitch, and I am back tacking just to secure the ends. And make sure that you get all your layers as you're sewing. And now I'm coming up to my 3 layers that I'm sewing through. And I like to do my sides first and then my bottom. So I am going to flip this around to the other side. Again, I'm lining up my edges. And look at how effortlessly the machine goes through all of these layers. Now my first line of straight stitching is just to secure and hold everything in place. And then I'm going to be going to a zigzag stitch. Now, I'm going to do that bottom, and again, I want to make sure I go through all of those layers and that I'm nice and even. Now, if you were doing this at home, I'm using a dark thread so that you can see what I am doing, but you would want to match the thread colors with your dish drying mat. And look at that. Now my pockets are in there. And the next step that I'm going to do, the line that matches up with that front pocket and the back pocket, I am going to sew all the way through. And I did that 6 inches in from each side, so about a third of the way. And I'm going to start this on the thicker side, sewing onto the thinner side. Now I have my chalk line there. And again, I am back tacking all the way to the end just to make sure that I get all of my layers. And I am going to go right to the edge of that pocket and again back tack just to further secure that. And I'm going to even lock that stitch in place. I am just about done with my project. Look at how easy that has come together. And again, I am just clipping threads as we go. I'm using that reverse stitch to reinforce the edges. And I did switch to a size 14 needle because I am going through a lot of heaviness. And I am going in reverse for about an inch to really reinforce those stitches. Now, isn't that wonderful? So I have my big pockets for my taller items. I may have some screwdrivers and tools for just in case emergencies, maybe eating utensils, a compass, some pens, all kinds of different things in here. And look at how easily that came together. Now on my back side, I use the darker thread, and the thread stitching, let me bring that closer. I have that stitching around the edges, holding the pockets together. And look at how quickly that comes together. Now, what I will be doing is my tie. The tie that I have is an 18-inch cord, and I am going to put that right above the pocket, and I'm actually going to leave a loop on the inside for attaching a carabiner, maybe hooking something on there. You never know what you're going to need. And I am going to secure the tie and that loop. And again, I'm going very close to that finished serged edge that comes on the dish mat. Now on that loop and that tie, I am going to go back and forth 2 or 3 times to really secure that in place. And this is just coming along so quickly and so nicely. Again, I am going to trim up any threads that I see. And now all I'm left with are my edges that I am going to switch to a zigzag stitch, and I am going to go around the sides and the top and just secure that all in place. And look at how beautifully that came together. Now I'm going to show you that inside and the outside. Now I've chosen that darker color so you could see my stitching line. You of course would have matched that, but let me put a few tools in there. Let me put my scissors, some tools. This could be used not only for camping, but for just about anything, cosmetics, sewing tools. So this gives me a really nice roll up and my tie to be able to secure it all together. Isn't that just lovely? I hope you've enjoyed this quick and easy project. Please let me see your roll-ups that you do. Submit your pictures in and show them to me. I'd love to see them. Until next time, bye-bye.